Legends Festival is coming to an end, so I thought why not make a top 10 list to see how these new units have shaped the game. We've had a lot of strong units join us during the celebration, and now we have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Zenkai to add to that list. So let's see what my top 10 looks like. Shameless plug, but if you guys want to make your own tier list, it is right here, DBL tier list template. Click this link right here. It is not a virus, I've just shortened it because the other link is way too long. And if you're over here already, you may as well follow me on Twitter. It is at DNGE_YT, so definitely go check that out. So these will be the units that I will be ranking today. I'm not going to give every unit like 3 or 4 minutes of just explaining where they are. I'm just going to give a couple of reasons why I think they're at a specific spot, whether they've gained value or whether they've lost value. Another thing I want to point out is that these are obviously my own opinions, so if you guys disagree or agree, just let me know down below. Just please do it respectfully, because no one wants to be public enemy number one because they have an opinion on a mobile game. So let's head straight into it. I'm going to start it off with number 10, and that's going to be Orange Piccolo. There's definitely a couple of units that could replace Orange Piccolo at number 10. I'm just going to name them right now. I think LF17 is definitely one of them. He was a lot higher before, but there's a lot of green units in the game right now. We've got Goku Frieza. They pretty much not fell off, but they have fallen quite a bit from being like a top 2, top 3 unit to not being even in my top 10. I think they could still be a top 10 unit. And then number 3 is going to be LF Cell. I still think this guy is very good, has some very good setups around, and obviously with the resurgence of green units in the meta, purples can gain value, but I think Omen just has too much of a chokehold on the purple units in the current meta, so I do think that Orange Piccolo for me was the best option to put at number 10. His teams are really good. He's pretty good himself individually. He's able to, you know, stall, revive and all that stuff. His plat came out, he's pretty good with it after he revives specifically. I think his disrupt is pretty good nowadays after he revives. I do try and find myself hoping that the opponent would swap out before I pop his gauge, but sometimes it just happens. But individually, he's got some really good teams. Green units are quite free right now. I've seen a lot of people running green, green, red, where you're using the Revival Super Gogeta, Revival Piccolo, and then obviously Beast Gohan. The biggest reason why he's in this top 10, usually I'd have him in honorable mentions, is just simply the fact that the purples have lost a lot of value right now. So in that theory, greens have gained value. So that is why I do think he's number 10. And in general sense, Piccolo has gained value. Okay, this feels really weird to even put this guy this low, but Janemba is going to be my number 9 unit. Yes, Super Janemba, Ultra Super Janemba, a unit that I was very much advocating being number 1 even at the start of Fest, is now number 9. For good reason. Obviously, we have so many green units. You're looking at this list right now, and I can already see 5 to 6 top tier greens that are very common, that are countering him, that are able to eat his combos, that are able to, you know, eat that early ult. I do still think Janemba is extremely powerful. He still can do the stuff he wants to do, just not as freely as previous metas. His team is still very good. He still has movies, obviously, you know, you can still run the Revival Super Gogeta, Janemba and Beast team, but I think right now with how many greens there are right now and how little reds you really are seeing, I think just running green, green, red in general is just a better option. Blues, they've taken a hit. All of them have 17, a unit that I would put at top 5 to 6 a couple of weeks ago is now for me not even in my top 10. It's going to end up in my honorable mentions. The same's happened for Janemba. Not a bad unit by any means, and I don't think going lower in a top 10 in 500 units of the game is bad, but I do think right now it's just not as meta. So in general, he's lost value. Okay, at number 8, it's going to be surprising, but it's going to be Ape Vegeta. I do think this guy is currently the best Zenkai in the game. Now you may be like, why is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta not coming before him then? The reason is simply because I don't see this guy at all. Like, I've played, I want to say close to 150 games now since Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta got his Zenkai, and I am not seeing this guy at all. I'm not feeling his impact on the meta. I do think individually he's great and he is able to counter some of the better units in the game, but in hindsight, I'm just not seeing him enough. I do think his AoE green is very good. The way he's able to just, you know, gain a combo over someone like UI Goku, who can stall quite a lot, who can avoid strikes and all that stuff. I do think that AoE green comes in quite clutch. Gaining 10 counts, I'm pretty sure it is. Cover null off of it is very good as well. Getting that blue card to lower your sub count so you can, you know, switch back in real quick with him is also quite nice. The endurance is good. He hits extremely hard, and I do think his only issue is his defense. I've pretty much been able to like one combo him with any unit in the game that I'm using right now. Let's just say Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, for example. I'm able to just catch him, click a couple of cards, pop my main, and the guy is dead by the end of that combo, which is not something you want to see from like higher star LF Zenkais, but it's the unfortunate truth. He is just a little bit too squishy for me personally. In general sense, he has gained a lot of value, and I do think he is quite good. Kind of a weird Zenkai still, like Saiyan Saga didn't get any buffs during the whole festival, so seeing this guy just get a Zenkai and then just be left as is a bit weird, but I guess it is to make sure that Bardock and Goku have a partner or whatever they were thinking. But overall, he's gained value. Ape Vegeta is very, very good. At number 7, I'm going to be putting my king, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. In general, I was a bit worried when I heard he's getting a Zenkai, because sometimes they just do flop some of these Zenkais, especially some of these Fusion Warrior ones we've seen in the past. LF Vegito Blue, for example, his Zenkai, he pretty much didn't get much of an upgrade. That is why he fell off fairly quickly, but they did very well with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. He's kind of a mix of the LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku Zenkai and then the Super Baby 2, the way he's healing the team, the way he's gaining cover null when someone dies, all that good stuff. In general, I think he's doing quite well because we have a good chunk of revival units that are running very frequently in the game. One of them being Revival Super Gogeta, who I see the most of most units in the game right now. I'm pretty certain to say, other than Beast and UI Goku, I am seeing Revival Gogeta the most. So having that with his plat and his kit and how strong he is right now, I do think this guy's gained quite a lot of value, and obviously he's gained a lot of value. He was useless before. Now he's a top 7 unit, top 8 unit minimum in my opinion, and I do think they did very well with his Zenkai. So Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I'm happy to see you here already at number 8, even before the GT team has gotten their buffs. So I could see a world where this guy ends up going to like top 5. Like that could definitely happen, especially if GT ends up getting like absolutely cracked ridiculous units where this guy needs to be on the team. But for now, I'm going to put him at number 7. I'm going to humble myself, going to keep my agenda to myself, and I'm going to allow the facts to speak. At number 6, I'm going to be putting Vegito Blue there. We know that Ape Vegeta is free because he's red, and the same happens to Vegito Blue. He's countering out UI Goku. Blue units have taken a backseat this meta. You're not really running into too many blues. The one you'll see the most common is probably going to be Goku Bardock or 17, but for me, I'm not even seeing them that often. But we all know how strong Vegito Blue is individually. He does so much on his own, and now that he's got like the perfect team around him and the fact that he's always going to be safe, he's able to use his kit and amplify it quite a bit. On the main Fusion Warrior setup, he's also getting double support from Gogeta and then the Revival Super Gogeta, so that's really, really good. And overall, he just hits quite hard right now. Still very annoyed that he's shafted me for so long. Currently just waiting for its release so I can finally try that team out at his peak. But for me, Vegito Blue is my number 6 unit, and I do think he's gained value. Moving on to number 5, I'm going to be putting Evo Kaio Ken right there. When they first dropped, I was kind of like torn between which unit I want to put at number 1, whether it was Beast Gohan or whether it was them, because there wasn't really very many yellow units that were dominating the game. I kind of, like, in the back of my mind, I always wanted to put Evo Kaio Ken there. Their team was just a little bit better in my opinion. They had protection against Beast and they did quite a lot of damage and combos. But now to see that I'm putting it at number 5, it's definitely quite the change, They're not a bad unit by any means. I personally just think that Ultra UI Goku dropping has hurt them more than what they looked like before. They were just simply a top 2 unit minimum, and that was the fact. Right now you're seeing them top 5, top 6, even top 7 and 8 to some cases, which I disagree with a lot. I do still think their offensive capabilities make up for the lack they have in defense, and that's probably the only issue I have with them. It's just that they have no way of being like defensive in any way. They're so squishy, and on top of that, they can't really avoid getting hit by a blue ultimate or rise and rush unless their allies allow them to drop their sub count. Other than that, you can say they've lost value because they were a lot higher on this list previously. Okay, at number 4 we have an absolutely amazing comeback story, and that is Revival Gogeta. This unit was heavily slandered on release, and I even said in my video, I think them being a fusion warrior and them not being the top dog in the meta at this time is gonna release a lot more slander, because people expect fusion warriors to be bonkers. They expect them to be ridiculous units off the rip, and this unit just wasn't that. They wanted to be more of a supporting unit, a side unit to help out the other main units on the team, and that usually doesn't run for fusion warriors. But it's nice to see how much they've changed and how much more value they've gained in the last couple of months over Festival. Beast dropping definitely gave him a lot of value instantly. As soon as I saw Beast was announced and he was red, I was like, okay, green and red, great units to go by. To stop Janemba, you use Revival Gogeta because he has that long range blue card as well. He is a more blast based unit, and so you will be using more blasts. And in general, keep moving down. We now are stuck with him at number 4, and I do think that's probably the best place we'll ever see them at. I don't think they'll ever go higher than 4. I think you could technically argue a 3rd place spot for them, but for me, I think even that's going a little bit too far. As much as I love the unit, I think number 4 is a great spot for them, and they've definitely proven a lot of the haters and doubters wrong. So in general, huge value increase, absolutely massive increase, and they are my number 4 unit. Okay, number 3 is going to be Goku Bardock. Really strong unit overall. Any unit that's able to gain a top 3 spot with all these units in the meta is obviously very, very strong. I do have a little bit of an issue with them in general, and that is their indestructible ability. It's very good. It's a better version of Endurance, and I know Endurance is, you know, it's a hit or miss. You know, when units like VB are on top, Endurance is useless, but then sometimes it's good when those types of units disappear. This isn't any of that, so you can just eat the rush and still live. But I think you're able to just avoid the indestructible too easily, in my opinion. You've got units like Beast that can pop their indestructible and then, you know, transform, take their advantage, and then just kill them straight after. So I think that's like their biggest downside. But individually, very strong unit, able to gain a combo off of the AoE green card, able to do a lot of damage. They hit extremely hard. That's one thing that definitely catches me off quite a lot. And I think in general, compared to how bad their banner is, this unit is leaps and bounds above what their banner showcased them to be. Very strong unit. Definitely will gain a lot more value in the future, because once Legends bring in a certain type of feature or unit, they tend to buff that team quite a lot. And I think the original, what's it called, Game Originals team will be very strong in 2024, and this unit will be one of the first units to make that team very, very strong. Alright, we're left with the last 2 units, so let's head them in straight away. Yes, that's how I'm going to put it. I think Beast is the best unit in the game right now. He is so free currently, it's actually insane. There's no blues that are really holding a torch to this guy, holding a light, whatever the hell you call it. This guy is just so free. Even if there is a blue, he goes type neutral, he hits hard. And then on top of that, he's countering out one of the biggest problems in the game right now, UI Goku, who could easily be a number 1 unit, but I think with Beast around, I don't know why you'd put UI Goku number 1. He just is countering him very, very well. The biggest thing that I like about this Beast Gohan is the fact that UI Goku, if you are a red unit with an ultimate, there are cases where UI Goku's debuffs and his team in general debuffing you will make sure that he lives, because the first thing he does is take away 50% of the power, gains like 20-30% HP, takes your vanish, and in general, if you add that with 17 on the team, you are taking away like minus 90% of that power, which is a lot. So in some aspects, these ultimates that usually would kill any other unit just won't be able to kill UI Goku if you activate it on the field. But the issue with Beast is, well, the issue for UI with Beast is the fact that he doesn't use ultimates. He uses blue cards that restore vanish, and those blues hit really hard. So for Beast, in most circumstances, he's getting a lot of support from units like Pan, from units like Revival Gogeta, from units like Piccolo. So that blue card is hitting extremely hard, and in most cases, UI Goku is just simply dead. But that's not to take anything away from UI Goku. If the best unit in the game is red and it's a unit like Transforming Beast Gohan, and you are still able to be a number 2 unit in the game, then you got to give yourself a round of applause. UI Goku is ridiculous. The abilities that he's unlocked recently, the new abilities he brought to the game, very, very ridiculous abilities. Obviously, the Ultra for the festival is always quite good, and this guy is no exception. I will say, usually the Ultra is the peak number 1, very easy to see number 1. And I think it's weird to see it this way, that he isn't the peak number 1 in my opinion, but nothing to take away from him. He's a very strong unit. He's obviously gained a lot of value. He's just joined the game and he's there. He's got a really good team. Everything around him is good. Obviously, Zenkai bench is also very good, and I think he's gained value. He's very, very good. Beast has gained value. Yellow unit in the game. He's the best red in the game. He's the best unit in the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is my top 10 list. Obviously, the honorable mentions are right there. As you can see, I can just go over them really quickly. If I was to put them in an order, it would probably be something like this. Just very quickly, just going over it. This would probably be the order. You've obviously got 17, who I think has taken a massive hit. I could even put 17 here, to be honest, because of like the amount of green units in the game. But I think he's still a core unit for Unireps, so I'm going to put him in honorable mentions, number 11. Goku Frieza, still very strong unit individually. Their utility, their kit is very strong. Only issue is UI Goku being yellow, they start off as purple. If they were swapped another color, could I see them higher? I could, but that would mean they're blue. A lot of green, so either way they're getting pretty hard counted on both sides, but they're still a very strong unit. LF Cell, very strong team, very strong unit. I just think yellow beats purple, strong yellow. Purple's lose value. Jiren, that guy, yeah, UI Goku definitely hurt him a lot more as well. Then you've got Revival Goku. I think he's gained a lot of, gas because he's on the banner and he's a revival unit. He's green. Green units are quite free. And then you've just got a couple of top units that I think that are just really, really strong in general and can hold their own in this meta. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. Peace.